Yeah. Yeah. Two familiar faces popping up on your screen. Yeah, baby. We are back for season. Tell them, Brandon, what season number is
It's
this?
season 4.
Season number 4, baby. Yeah, we are back better than ever, ready to give you the heat. And man, oh man, do we have some big, massive, large plans for this season and beyond. We are so excited. We are so excited. It's brand new. Slate is wiped clean. Slate is wiped clean. We have many months ahead of us to decide what will happen and what seems to be a truly unorthodoxly epic season. So many storylines going into this season. So many storylines. We're going to be breaking it all down. You know what we got to do. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meat on the 50. Yes, we are year 4. It is time. Football season has returned. The preseason is over. The draft is over. Free agency has been settled. The teams are set. Rosters are set. The boys, the men are ready to play. We have some people traveling all over the world this year, specifically starting this week. Yes, our first ever game in Brazil, an AFC Championship rematch, and so many more epic matchups to talk about. So, without further ado, season 4, here we go, baby. Let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to season 4 of the Sports Guys. Yes, Meat on the 50 has returned, where weekly we will be making our NFL picks. We will be going over everything that we think is going to happen this season. It's going to be absolutely epic. And every single year, if you've been following along, that's our first piece of business is typically I like to do an underlining theme, just an undercover theme. You know, what is it going to be, right? First year was just random jerseys. Second year was the long sleeve jerseys. Third year, it was year of the guest. What could the fourth year possibly be? Stay tuned for week 2 because you'll find out what year it is this season, and I cannot wait to show you guys. Okay, second piece of business. Welcome back. Hi, how's it going? I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys, and as always, joining me, he is the other half of the Sports Guys. He is one of my best friends. He is none other than Mr. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, welcome back. Welcome back to another season. Hopefully we can stave off utter disappointment again. How you feeling? How you doing? What's been going on? Fill the people in.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, Jake. I feel really good. As far as in the sports world, I think you and as far as everybody else knows that my Boston Celtics were able to get it done, and that was a huge just sigh of relief, and I was able to let out a breath of fresh air. The Boston Celtics are NBA champions, and the weight's lifted off my shoulders, Jake. I still have the voicemail from you, and just an incredible moment, and a moment that I'll never forget, a moment I'll cherish forever. You know how much I love my beloved Celtics. They come number 1 for me. There's a lot of reasons of that, those reasons why, but just very, very exciting summer for me. And then obviously watching Team USA get the gold, watch Tatum and the 3 Celtics get the gold as well. Tatum on the NBA cover, Christian McCaffrey on the Madden cover, just loving life right now as far as sports goes. But yes, The Celtics, like I said, getting the championship and getting that monkey off their back, I will say, has really made me feel that now it is the Niners' time, and we need to see Brock Purdy and the 49ers get a championship. So I'm very hopeful. Every year going into it, we don't know what's going to happen. But, I hope one of our teams can get it done. I say that every single season. I would love to see the Bengals win their first Super Bowl. And I think they have the cast this year to do it. So just super, super excited for both of our teams this year.
Yeah, this year is setting up to be an absolutely epic season. So many things going on. There is so much to talk about with these games. So with it being week 1, we like to keep it nice and easy. So, I think we got all the, the pleasantries, the greetings, right? The season's greetings out of the way. I think it's time that we just jump right back in to
Let's do it.
NFL football, baby. 2024-2025 NFL season is officially underway. With that being said, yeah, we got a nice little ticker on the side there. Lot of improvements coming this year. Stay tuned and sit back and relax and enjoy. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting us off on Thursday, yes, we have a AFC Championship game rematch. Who is that going to be against? Well, it was the teams last year in the AFC Championship. We got the Baltimore Ravens traveling again. No, not again. For the first time, because they were in Baltimore last year. But the Ravens traveling this year to Arrowhead to kick us off and take on the defending back-to-back Super Bowl champs, unfortunately, the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens, Chiefs, kicking us off on NBC, on Peacock, setting up to be a nice day. It looks like it's going to be about 77 there in Kansas City. Beautiful weather to start the NFL season. What do you got for me?
Not compelled about this matchup tomorrow at all. Originally, I wasn't going to watch it, but I guess I'll tune in a little bit just to kind of see. Because these I do want to kind of see, Derrick Henry on the Ravens and see how that goes. So, it's going to be, I think, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Week 1 is always hard to say. I think that's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of close ones here. I think we're going to have a lot of difference of opinions on a lot of these just because in week 1 we don't have any sample size. The Chiefs played last year and lost opening night to the Lions. I don't see them losing 2 opening night games at home in a row after winning the Super Bowl. I do think for that reason, they are going to win this game. I do think it's a close one, but I am going to pick the Chiefs in this one, 35-31. I do think that Derrick Henry has a night, and he gets going. I still don't trust Lamar Jackson, especially in that AFC Championship game where he just laid an egg. So, I think that the Ravens have an excellent defense. I think that the Ravens have some good weapons on the offensive side of the ball, especially Derrick Henry. I just feel like with Lamar Jackson, it's just not there for me. So I'm picking the defending Super Bowl champions.
Okay,
35.
Going with the Chiefs to this year open their season with a victory, right? Last year, they dropped that game to the Detroit Lions. This year, you got them taking it home. We shall see what happens. This game, right? Very interesting. Good kickoff to the NFL season. 2 solid teams, 2 teams that are expected to be pretty much right back in the exact same position that they were last year, right? With the Ravens improving on the running game, right? Getting Derrick Henry, making some other small adjustments, bringing most of their people back, right? And then the Chiefs have been talk of the offseason, right? With Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, who won't be playing in this game, but revamping their wide receiving core, right? Travis Kelce officially ending his relationship with Taylor Swift. Shocker. Wow, shocker. Thank God, Travis. Thank you.
Did that happen?
Thank you.
Did that happen?
Yeah, they're done.
That happened. I didn't see that anywhere. When did that happen?
There, it's on the fritz right now. We'll see what happens. Not reporting anything just yet because there was this fake AI generated post that went out that someone made about a paper about the agency that he works for, basically going over like the different stipulations of their relationship, yada 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 yada. You can check the internet for it. It's completely fake, but word is around town. We'll see what happens with that relationship. We'll see what happens.
Goodness.
Nothing official.
I hope.
Nothing official yet, but
I do not
we'll
want to see her anymore.
Happens.
I do not want to see her anymore.
With that being said, the Chiefs dropped their first game last year. I think the Ravens go into Arrowhead and again pull off the victory. I do think the Ravens do get the job done, 27-21 on the road. The Chiefs dropping back-to-back season openers at home. What's supposed to be a nice celebratory event is again spoiled by another NFL team. So Lions did it last year. Hopefully the Ravens can do it this year. We're going 27-21. Ravens over the Chiefs in a back and forth game, a very competitive game. We'll see what happens. But I got the Ravens getting the job done in week 1. Moving on to our Sao Paulo, Brazil game. Yes, the NFL now speaks Portuguese. Yes, the NFL has gone to Brazil. Players being told not to leave their hotels because of how high the crime rate is right now. Why you would have a game in the NFL, or why the NFL would have a game here, no idea. But hopefully everybody else who's not involved with the NFL has a very good time, safe time, good travels, all that good stuff. And we get to see a good football game. Who is playing in Brazil? Well, let me tell you, we got the Green Bay Packers, who have probably been one of the most overhyped teams this offseason. If you've been watching a lot of the news radio, ESPN, all that stuff, they've been trying to shove the Packers down your throat and what Jordan Love could possibly do this year. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but it's going to be very, very interesting, right? Getting Josh Jacobs, a lot of different things, a lot of good pieces there in Green Bay. So we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Brazil to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, who need a bounce-back season in the worst way. But that bounce-back could happen. Now acquiring Saquon Barkley, new running backs, same quarterbacks. What do you got for me? Packers, Eagles in Brazil.
Yeah, I would say, I know the Philly players are saying, oh, there's crime and stuff. Y'all are playing in Philly. There's a higher murder per capita in Philly than there is in Sao Paulo. So Sao Paulo is one of the nicer cities in Brazil. I've talked to people from Brazil. There was a couple exchange students that I had back at San Jose State that were from Brazil. And so, I understand if it's Rio de Janeiro, that's a really tough situation. But Sao Paulo's, the crime rate isn't I wouldn't say it's any worse than Philadelphia or Detroit or places like that where so whatever. I think it's a little, I don't think it's as bad as what people think. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's a little bit blown out of proportion. So, but anyways, I'm gonna roll with the Philadelphia Eagles here. I do think with the addition of Saquon Barkley, I want to see if the Packers were a fluke last year. I don't think they were, but I still kind of want to see. I just like Philly in this matchup. I think it's going to be close, just like the matchup between the Ravens and the Chiefs. So I'm going to pick Philly in this one, 31-24. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Green Bay won this game. But I want to ask you, do you have Peacock? Because I don't think I'm going to be able to watch this.
It's on. It is only on Peacock. Yeah, games on Peacock are traditionally trash.
You have it?
Yeah, going back to
you have Peacock?
Yes, going back
to
last
year.
Year's
Information.
Bro, this game. Well, if it's a good game, yeah, we'll see what happens here.
No, regardless, I want to be able to watch it.
Can't password share, dude. Come on, bro. You're gonna get us caught, dude.
Well, no, we live in the same household. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. I mean, no, I won't give you my stuff. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. All
Jeez.
right. That's what I thought.
Man,
But yeah, I
oh
mean,
man, the
traditionally,
Packers
like you said,
Eagles.
those are some. Hopefully, it's not a bad game because it's a Peacock game. Jeez.
Packers Eagles on Peacock Network. Unfortunate. I just saw that. That is unfortunate for us NFL fans. We'll see what happens in Brazil. This should be a very interesting game. Again, both these teams have a lot to prove, right? Jordan Love becoming, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. He's going to have to live up to that contract, right? Or could he pull a Daniel Jones and just fleece the Green Bay Packers for millions upon millions of dollars?
I really hope that doesn't happen. I do like the Green Bay Packers, so I hope that doesn't.
I think Jordan Love is a lot better than Daniel Jones, so I think he'll put on much more of a good fight for a quarterback. And the nice thing about the Packers is there is no star on the Packers. The Packers are made up of just a bunch of football players, right? That means there's no number one receiver, there's no number one running back right now, there's no number one tight end. Every receiver on that team, you could easily get 2 or 3 touchdowns to a game, and you could just spread the wealth. You got Josh Jacobs now. Could be a very underrated addition, right? Aaron Jones dominated the backfield there for years, and was a solid back. Josh Jacobs coming from Las Vegas, also a solid back. Didn't have the season that he wanted last year. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on within the Raiders organization, but now he's in a much better program. Green Bay Packers, statistically and traditionally and historically, have been a much more consistent program than the Oakland, Las Vegas, Los Angeles Raiders. So, Green Bay, I think, has a lot to prove this year. But the other team that has a lot to prove this year is Philly, because Philly absolutely collapsed last year after facing the Niners. Could not do anything. Started 10-1. Was the worst 10-1 team you probably have ever seen in your life. They were horrible. Played the Niners, got destroyed, and then everything just fell off from there. So the Eagles have a ton to prove, right? They also revamped a little bit of their defense. They also went out and, like he was saying, got Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants, right? If you watch the clip of the GM from New York, I mean, on Hard Knocks, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke how Saquon was treated. So will he find himself in a better situation there in Philadelphia, or he's going to just be bouncing around for years to come? We will find out here very shortly, but it could be a pivotal pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles. With that receiving core, Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts needs to have a bounce-back year. Saquon Barkley, we shall see what is going to happen. But with that being said, I'm going to roll with the Green Bay Packers. I'm not hopping on the Packer train just yet, but I like them more than the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going Green Bay Packers. Get the job done. 28-24 there in Brazil. Hopefully the crowd is good. Hopefully the energy is good. And I think we'll see some good action there in our first ever NFL game in Brazil. Moving on to Sunday. One of the best Sundays of the entire year. Why? Because football is all the way back, right? We got two little teasers, then we get the full slate of games. So let's get into it. Starting us off on Sunday morning, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been going through their own quarterback drama this entire offseason, with Russell Wilson now landing in Pittsburgh and being named the number 1 starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will that last, or will it go to Justin Fields? We will find out. But they take on the newly led Atlanta Falcons, led by Kirk Cousins, right? Returning off of his Achilles injury last year in Minnesota, leaving Minnesota, getting absolutely paid by the Atlanta Falcons. But Atlanta shocking everybody and pulling Michael Penix in the first round of the NFL draft this year. scratching some people's heads. Do they really believe in Kurt? Are they just preparing for the future, or are they anticipating Kurt not making it the rest of the season and having Michael, a veteran leader, come in and take over this team? The Atlanta Falcons could be good. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, some weapons that really haven't had a chance to shine. The Atlanta Falcons could be one of those under the radar teams as well. Pittsburgh Steelers, Atlanta Falcons. What do you got for me?
I'm just gonna go. I could care less about this game. I'm gonna go Atlanta 17-10.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, right? Russell Wilson's first start with the Steelers. What is going to happen there? Mike Tomlin's winning record on the line. I mean, they were supposed to get better. Somehow they did not. They let go of every single quarterback on their roster, picked up two guys who are two of the most inconsistent quarterbacks currently in the NFL game. So you got the Atlanta Falcons, who are looking to bounce back. That NFC South is garbage, hot garbage, always has been. It's been for a very long time. I wouldn't say always has been. But the Atlanta Falcons have a real opportunity this year to not only sneak in to the playoffs, but also win the NFC South. I mean, you got three other teams there that, I mean, really, it's a year-to-year show. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get one year to the next. So the Atlanta Falcons really have an opportunity with Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, that defense that they revamped at the end of last season and also carried over into this season, right? Jesse Bates, their big offseason signing last season. So a lot of these guys need to step up for the Atlanta Falcons and get the job done. So with that being said, we're going to go with Atlanta. We're going to go with Kirk Cousins' first ever start for the Atlanta Falcons, getting the job done against Pittsburgh, 27-14, handling business at home. Our next game, moving on, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who not only did they draft a former NFL player's son, but this former NFL player's son may inevitably be better than his dad. Yes, that's Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray. I mean, this is a make or break a year for Kyler. Honestly, we'll see what happens after this season. He could definitely be looking for a new home next year. It's going to be hard to say, but the Arizona Cardinals are a team that need a lot more pieces than just a quarterback and a star wide receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. They need a ton more. Luckily, they're playing and going up against a team that completely decimated their entire team this offseason and didn't get anybody to try and help revamp it. That is the Buffalo Bills. Yes, the Buffalo Bills letting Stephon Diggs walk, letting most of their safeties walk, letting a lot of their defense walk, getting rid of Gabe Davis is gone, right? Nobody is left on this team from last season, basically. So the Buffalo Bills in a revamp mode, but Josh Allen has the talent, has the skill to keep them in the relevant news cycle. Arizona Cardinals, Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, looking like it's going to be a nice 65-degree weather day. What do you got for me?
Yeah, good for Arizona to pick up Harrison, and they look like they picked up some steam at the end of last year. Maybe that'll come into this year, but I still look at them as a 500 or below 500 team. So, Buffalo, I see as a wild card team. Give me Buffalo and Orchard Park. I do think that they're going to win this game. Just being at home, I just. DeMar Hamlin starting, so maybe that gives the crowd a little bit of I think it's his first game as a starter since so that's just a moment for the fans. So if it was a 49ers player, which we'll get into, but then there would be a lot of noise for sure, and I believe in that. So give me Buffalo in this one. I do think it's a close one. Again, I mean, feel like they're all one-score games for me. It's hard for me to kind of pick a blowout, but I think Buffalo wins this one 24-17.
Yeah, remember, week one traditionally is very, very weird. Week one traditionally is very weird.
And I know half my picks are probably going to be wrong. So
yeah, week one's very weird, right? The teams that we expect to win usually don't win, and the teams that we think are going to win usually don't win, and the teams that we think aren't going to win, right? That's what I'm trying to say there. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting game, right? Arizona going up to Buffalo, that's a long trip. That is a very long trip. But with that being said, it's going to take some time for these Buffalo receivers, right? Kenan Coleman, I think is his name. it's going to take some time for him to get his stride in the NFL, get things going, get his route running, his hands, everything under control, and kind of get the feel for the game. Not to say he can't do it right off the bat. I mean, that would be great if he could, but it traditionally takes some time for these rookie receivers to get adept to what the NFL speed looks like, what the NFL game looks like. You're going up against men, right? College, you're going up against boys. No offense to the people playing college football, but I mean, some of these kids wouldn't last a second in the NFL. So, you're going up against real men, psychotic men, right? So, it could take some time for Buffalo to kind of get their wheels greased, to get those gears going, their wheels churning, right? Get some steam in their engine down the tracks. So with that being said, right, I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to go Arizona pulls out a shocker here in Buffalo. I got Arizona getting the job done 23-18. Yes, a completely weird score, but I got Arizona in a very weird game, winning 23-18, taking down the Buffalo Bills to start off their NFL season. Moving on, we got a debut, folks. And some would say it's the biggest debut ever. Oh, because this team has turned around. They haven't been anything since the 80s, but man, oh man, they got one guy and it's all changed. We got the Tennessee Titans led by Will Levis, his second season. What is he going to do? We shall find out. The Titans have definitely flown under the radar, right? The biggest signing for the Titans this offseason, Lenarius Sneed, right? Lenarius, that's his first name? Or Legarius? Yeah. Lenarius or Legarius? Legarius, yeah, Legarius Sneed. Yeah, biggest offseason signing for the Titans, right? Back-to-back Super Bowl champ, Legarius Sneed. Big signing for the Tennessee Titans defense. We'll see what happens, but they march into Chicago to take on the supposed savior of the Bears. Yes, his first NFL game. I'll be honest, he got kind of a good cakewalk for his first NFL game. Who am I talking about? Mr. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Yes, Tennessee Titans versus the Chicago Bears. What do you got for me?
I was going back and forth on this one. I think it's going to be Tennessee, but who knows? But I'm going to go with Chicago, just because I think it's going to be Tennessee. I think Chicago is going to surprise me or something, and they're going to win. So I'll pick Chicago in this one, 27-24. But I mean, this is one where it's a toss up. I just think with Caleb Williams and then, Keenan Allen may do well, but Tennessee, I just think that they're both very, very comparable to each other. I think that they're both kind of, they're both unproven. It's week one. Anything could happen. I think it's going to be a weird game, but I'm going to say 24-27, Chicago wins.
All right. I like it. Yeah, it's kind of that same line of thinking with week one, right? What you think is going to happen or what should happen most of the times doesn't happen because there's still things to be worked out. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Will Levis went into Chicago and balled out 3 touchdowns, no picks, and then we got a couple rushing touchdowns from Tajay Spears, right? I think, I could see it. But I could also see exactly what you see. And that's Caleb Williams come out and absolutely bomb. It just completely go off, right? With Romeo Oduzier, you got Keenan Allen, you got Luke Kmet, you got an actual running game now with DeAndre Swift. I mean, the Bears offense, they definitely revamped that offense for him. So we're in the same line of thinking. Yes, I do think that the Bears get the job done and his first ever start in the NFL. We're going Chicago Bears 31-23. Chicago Bears 31-23, getting the job done at home. Moving on. We got the New England Patriots marching into the jungle. And by all reports, we're going to be at full strength, baby. He's coming. He was at practice today, fully dressed, fully ready to go. Joey believes in him. Who am I talking about? We got the New England Patriots traveling to Paycor Stadium to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals have lost 4 straight home openers, or 4 straight season openers, excuse me. 4 straight season openers. Will this be the 5th, or will they break the curse? What do you got for me?
Yeah, and you said Joe's gonna play, right?
Joey's gonna play, and Jamar, by all reports, it looks like Jamar was at practice today. Joey said he's good to go. We got to assume he's gonna play.
The only thing that scares me about Cincinnati is I have got to see their run game after losing Joe Mixon. I just got to see that. That's the only thing that scares me. I think their defense is good. I think that their receiving core is fantastic. I think that Joe Burrow is top 3 quarterback in the NFL, in no order. So I got a guarantee victory. I do think the Bengals are going to shatter that, I don't think they're going 0-1 this year. I think that it's time to break that pattern like a game of roulette. And I got the Bengals drawing black on this one. It's been red 4 times, and I think they're sticking to their guns, and it's going to be black this time. That ball's going to be black. So, I think they come out and dominate. I got the Bengals winning this one 34-10.
Ooh, no faith in Jacoby Brissett. The New England Patriots are going to have just an absolute QB carousel going on up there, right? Jacoby Brissett's there. Drake May is there. You got Joe Milton there. It's just quarterback after quarterback after quarterback there. So we shall see what happens in New England this season. New England projected to be the worst team in the draft. They're projected to get the number 1 pick this year. Shocking to see where New England was to where they are now. But what's funny is people who were born before Tom Brady, that's how the Patriots always have been. The Patriots have always been dog crap. They've been crappy forever. Tom was the only reason the Patriots were relevant. Sorry, Boston fans. Sucks when the truth hits you right in the face. You want to know what? Oh, more truth? The Bengals getting the job done. Yes, baby. Bengals getting the job done. Opening day at Paycor Stadium. Our Twin Towers are set to go. We got Trent Brown. We got Orlando Brown Jr. We are ready. Jamar is ready. T. Higgins is ready. Our boy Jermaine Burton, the rookie who had one of the best preseasons that you could ask for from a rookie. The team is ready to go. Joey finally has tight ends. Yeah, for the first time in his career, he finally has legitimate tight ends. So it's all set. The table's set. The defense is ready to go. The offense is ready to go. Joey's healthy. We haven't seen this before. We have not seen this before. So we got the Cincinnati Bengals dominating the New England Patriots 42-17. Absolutely bending them over and putting an absolute Call of Duty Black Ops 6 whooping on them. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch some Black Ops 6 clips, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we're going to do to the New England Patriots.
I will not be buying. A game I will not be buying.
Don't worry, I won't be buying it either. Moving on. Moving on. We got a team. We got a team formerly known as the Houston Dumpster Fire Texans. But as of last season, we can no longer call them the Houston Dumpster Fire Texans. The Houston Texans are traveling to open up their season. They're traveling to none other than the Toilet Bowl Indianapolis Colts. Are the Indianapolis Colts going to be relevant this year? Or are they going to be an absolute toilet bowl like they were last year? We got the Houston Texans traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. What do you got for me in CJ Stroud year 2?
Yeah, I got to roll with CJ Stroud. He was really impressive last year, so I'm going off of that. I think he builds off of that this year, and I think he has a pretty good season. And, D'Amico Ryans and, adding Stephon Diggs, adding Joe Mixon. I think that I think Houston dominates. I'm going to pick Houston in this one, 28-17.
Yeah, the Texans did what no other team did last season, which they went out and they got actual weapons to use. They took Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. They picked him up. The Bengals didn't want him, so Houston said, come on down. We'll take you. They took Stephon Diggs from the Buffalo Bills. Stephon wanted to be a little diva girl there in Buffalo. He can go be a diva girl there in Houston. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Oh, but wait, not only did they just get two people, but Tank Dell is coming back off of injury. And if you forgot about Tank Dell, you will soon be reminded as soon as this season starts. Oh, and then by the way, they also have Nico Collins, who you could say started this whole rebuild 2 years ago. So, you know, with Nico Collins kind of being that veteran guy now of the team, that guy who's been there through all the crap, who stuck it out and who has potential to be one of the top receivers for the Houston Texans. You got Nico Collins, you got Tank Dell, you got Stephon Diggs, you got you got Dalton Schultz, you got Joe Mixon. I mean, you got some offensive weapons down there in Houston. And then you're taking on the Colts. Anthony Richardson. Right now, people are saying Anthony Richardson is going to be looking like the scariest quarterback coming back this season after getting taken out last year with shoulder surgery. Very upsetting. He was incredibly exciting to watch before going out that season-ending injury. But Anthony Richardson is back, looking healthy, ready to go. And I mean, that Colts team is kind of like the Packers team. You don't really know. There's no star on that team. Anybody can take over. Anybody can step up any given week, right? It could be this receiver. It could be that receiver. It could be the tight end. It could be the running back. It could be Anthony Richardson. It could be a number of these guys on the Colts. That AFC South is just as up in the air as the NFC South. The Southern divisions are probably the most toss-up divisions in the NFL to date. I mean, you don't know what is going to happen year in and year out. And I'm very excited to watch this season. I do believe that the Houston Texans do go into Indianapolis, do get the job done. I do think it's a good game. I think it's going to be a 28-24 game with Houston getting the job done on the road. Moving on to our next game. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Miami. Yes, to take on the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, they're going to take on the Miami Dolphins. Tua getting paid. Mike McDaniel getting paid, right? I mean, Trevor Lawrence getting paid. What is going to happen in this one? Jacksonville, Miami, Battle of Florida. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be another really good one. But, you know, I do like the receiving core on Miami, and I like that they're at home. So you look, they added Odell Beckham Jr. They obviously have, and he can be a good third option. I'm not saying he's a 1 or 2 option, but he could be a third guy, a good third guy there. Obviously, Jalen Waddle's up there, and Tyreek Hill is arguably the best receiver in the NFL as far as his speed and what he can do to stretch the field. So this is a big question mark here for Tua Tagovailoa. I want to see more from him. I know in those big situations he's crumbled. I know he's put some big seasons together, and whether he's folded or whether he's gotten injured, there's a lot of question marks on Tua. So I just think that obviously they have the team. They have a team that can compete for a Super Bowl. I do think that they have the roster to do it. As a matter of can they go out there and do it. This is going to be an entertaining game. So I do think that the Jaguars are going to be, they're going to try to compete as well. The AFC it's really top heavy. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC. So, for some reason, I'm just going to go with the Jaguars on this one. I really don't know why. But I just think it's one of those games where it doesn't really make sense, and the Jaguars find a way to win at the end. I think they win with a walk-off field goal. I think it's 20-17. I'm just going to pick Jacksonville. I think they're capable of beating Miami. I just think Miami just drops one at home, and there's a lot of question marks.
All right, I like it. Yeah, I mean, it certainly should set up to be a very competitive game with Trevor Lawrence and what he's hoping to do this season after coming off a very disappointing season last year. Trevor Lawrence is looking to make a statement, make his claim that he is in fact a top quarterback in the NFL. Has yet to prove it, but He very well has the talent. He has the skills. He has the capability. It's all about the drive, the will, right, and the ambition to go out there and seize the opportunity. He certainly got paid like a number one quarterback, so it's time to nut up or shut up, as some of them say. With Miami, same kind of thing, right? You know, Tua getting extended for 4 years, Mike McDaniel getting extended for 3 years, right? Their contracts now kind of set to expire. So I think a timeline has been put in place for the Miami Dolphins. I think that if they're not able to get at least some sort of traction within the next few years, this thing's going to get blown up and we're going to start all over again. So Miami, now a deadline has been set, and I believe that's the end of Mike McDaniel's contract, right? Tua will have one more year left, but I believe that is going to be the cutoff with that being said. So I think, you know, like you said, it's going to be a very competitive game. Week one's hard to judge, but I'm going to go with Miami. I do think Miami gets the job done at home. I do think it's a very competitive game, 32-28. Miami gets the no, actually, I'm going no. I'm going to go 24-17. I think it's going to be a good game, a competitive game. I do not think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I do think that the Dolphins get the job done at home. Moving on, we got the Carolina Panthers, who surprisingly was the worst team last year. Traditionally, when you're the worst team, guess what you get? The first pick. Oh, whoops, sorry, you don't get the first pick because you decided to trade DJ Moore and that pick to the Chicago Bears. Congratulations. Way to go. Well done. So the Carolina Panthers are in full rebuild mode. Bryce Young, second year. What can he do? We'll find out very shortly. He had some moments in the preseason where he looks like he has elevated somewhat, but he's taking on a team that might give him that opportunity to get off to a very good start. Traveling down to New Orleans, the Bayou, to take on the New Orleans Saint, who, honestly, I mean, I just kind of, that's basically what I got to say about the Saints. Panthers, Saints, what do you got for me?
This is an easy one for me. I think the Saints win in their new revamped Superdome, and I think they win this one pretty easily, 24-7.
I like it. Oh, wow, going 7 points for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, I definitely certainly think that Carolina could score more than that. I think they're going to score more than that, so much so that I'm picking Carolina to get the job done, 17-14 on the road. Abysmal game. Ugly game. Panthers get the job done. Moving on, we got the Minnesota, who set to move on this season at quarterback, only for their quarterback to tear meniscus in his knee and be out for the entire NFL season. Can't catch a break if you're the Vikings. Can't catch a break if you're Justin Jefferson. Man, oh man. We got the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota. Yes, cheese curds, yeah. And then they're traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on another equally meh team, the New York Football Giants. What do you got for me?
Yeah, tough break for Minnesota. I just think, New York Giants are just terrible. So I just have to pick Minnesota here. I think Minnesota wins this one 21-17. I think it's a close game. But I even with Sam Darnold, I still think that Minnesota wins. I have no faith in the New York Giants.
I mean, man, oh man, just ripping them to shreds. Jeez Louise. New York Giants on Hard Knocks this season, right? You got a chance to see a lot of what the New York Football Giants were going to throw out there. And let me tell you, it was very uninteresting. And guess what? I didn't even watch an episode. That's why I know it was so uninteresting. I mean, the New York Football Giants, you don't really have much to expect from them this season. Brian Daboll's job is on the line. Daniel Jones' job is on the line, right? They got Malik Neighbors in the draft from LSU, who they unretired number one just to give it to him. I mean, we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens with the New York Football Giants. Minnesota, right? They're kind of a wild card now, right? Aaron Jones now at running back. Sam Darnold, who we didn't think was going to be there at starting quarterback, right, is now their starting cornerback. Justin Jefferson, how quickly does he turn into Devontae Adams being like, get me the hell out of here? I'm going 3 games before we see Justin Jefferson completely blow up and lose it and want out of Minnesota. With that being said, you're going Minnesota. I'll go the New York Football Giants. Malik Neighbors absolutely goes off in his first ever NFL game. We're going New York Football Giants 24-21, getting the job done there at US Bank Stadium, right? Yeah, no, it's at MetLife. What am I talking about? They're at home. They're at home in New York. Moving on to our afternoon games. Our first afternoon game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to take on, his return to NFL football. Coached the Niners, went to Michigan, now is back. He is none other than Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, Jim is back, and he is ready to go. And man, oh man, if what he did with the Niners was any kind of foregone conclusion what's going to happen with the Los Angeles Chargers fans, buckle your seatbelts because you are going to be in for one hell of a ride over the next 3 years.
Right.
We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. We got the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Antonio Pierce led Las Vegas Raiders. Gardner Minshew, Gardner legend. Gardner my lawn, right? Gardner this, Gardner that. Guard me, right? Gardner everything, man. Gardner legend. Gardner Minshew is now taking the reins there in Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew, Justin Herbert, Raiders, Chargers. What do you got for me?
I went back and forth on this one. I think it could go either way, but I'm going to give the Chargers the slight edge because of the quarterbacking situation for Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew's okay. I don't know. I just think, Justin Herbert's a good quarterback, and then you have a championship caliber coach coming in, and I've witnessed Harbaugh myself, and obviously he just won a big championship game, in college football. He brought so much good memories to me. Obviously there was some things that happened during those years where, it's like a nightmare to revisit, but obviously we wouldn't have been in those positions without Jim Harbaugh, and he brought some really, really good times and happy moments for me during those years because the Niners were really struggling for a long time. Since obviously having Jeff Garcia. There was a big hole in, maybe about 10 years in there where we were really not relevant. So I know what this guy's made of. He's just an outstanding coach. And so I'm going to give the respect to the coach that I never wanted to see leave the 49ers. I never wanted to see him leave. I've always loved Jim Harbaugh. Anybody will tell you that. The guy is just one of a kind. And so I think that pairing him with Justin Herbert, we've seen what he's done, what he did with Alex Smith. He revitalized his career. We saw what he did with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was competing in a Super Bowl. He took his team to an NFC championship. He was a pass away from going back to the Super Bowl. We see what he does around quarterbacks. He was a quarterback of himself, quarterback of the Colts. He was, a quarterback of Michigan. He was just he's just great. He's just great. So I'm definitely going to pick him and the Chargers to win this one, and a close one, 23-20. I think it's a close game, but I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I didn't pick him after what he did for the Niners.
Yeah, I love the Raiders. I hope that they have, a somewhat decent season. If they don't have a decent season, I hope they fall enough in the draft to where we can get these one of these top three quarterbacks that are set to come out of the college draft this year, right, with Carson Beck, Shedeur Sanders, and Quinn Ewers. I'll take any one of those three. But with that being said, I absolutely love the marriage of Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh. The only marriage I would actually love more is Jim Harbaugh and Joey B, because I think he would take Joey B to a level that I don't think any quarterback would ever reach. But what he can do with Justin Herbert, I think he can do some amazing things with Justin Herbert in terms of his mentality for the game, in terms of just his mind for the game. That's what Jim does. Jim is a player's coach. He is the one out there warming up the quarterback. He's the one firing passes 60 miles an hour at these kids. He's the one out there catching shirtless touchdowns with gloves on and stuff like that. He is the ultimate player's coach. And the Chargers need a player's coach. The Chargers are a few coaches away from actually being relevant for years. They just never could find the right coach. And, they might have found the right coach. So with that being said, we'll keep it short and sweet. We're going to go Chargers handling business at home. We're going to go 27-17. Chargers getting the job done in week 1 against the Raiders. Moving on, we got the rookie-led Bo Nix, recently named captain, first Broncos captain rookie name since I think the 60s or something like that. We got the Denver Broncos traveling up to Seattle, rainy Washington, to take on, not the Pete Carroll led, because Pete Carroll is gonzo. Yeah, it's a whole new scene up in Seattle. Whole new scene. They're taking on the Seattle Seahawks. What do you got for me?
It's a toss-up. I mean, both of these teams suck. So I'll just pick Seattle because they're at home. I just horrible. Definitely not something I'm watching. So you can watch it for me. Let me know how it turns out. But we'll just pick Seattle in this one, 17-14.
All right, yeah. I mean, with the way the Denver Broncos have kind of been progressing throughout this offseason, I think Denver is going to kind of fly under a lot of people's radars this season. Bo Nix has a lot of experience. He is a very veteran rookie quarterback. His team already loves him. We'll see what happens. I mean, his team loves him so much they named him captain. That's a big deal. So Bo Nix, I'm going to rock with Bo Nix week 1. We're going to go to the Denver Broncos handling business against the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to go 24-17, handling business on the road. Moving on, we got the Dallas Cowboys, who quite honestly are probably the most interesting team this year because, Dak is a free agent. Dak has all the leverage in the world on where his future goes. Very interesting. Mike McCarthy, your future is now in the hands of what happens this season, right? Dallas Cowboys traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. What do you got for me?
There will never be a day in my life where I believe in the Browns. There'll never be a day in my life where I will believe in the Browns. I will never care about the Browns after they just signed Deshaun Watson after all that controversy and send Baker Mayfield packing. I don't care about the Browns. I really don't. I don't care about the city of Cleveland. It's not a place I would want to visit. It's just the list goes on and on and on. So what I'm going to say to you is that I do believe Dallas will win this game. I do. And I think Dallas will win this game 28-21. I think that they're going to win this game by a touchdown or more. But I'd be surprised if the Browns won this game. There is nothing about them that awes me at all. I just think that they are just, after all the weapons and all the draft picks that they've had over the years, they've done jack. So I will never root for them, and I'll never think that they're going to do anything. So I don't even know how Cleveland's favored here. I don't care that they're at home. I do think Dallas is going to, they're going to beat them.
I like it. What's your score you got?
28-21.
All right, I like it. Yeah, I'm going to keep it nice, short, and sweet. I agree with everything you said, right? I'm not rooting for Cleveland. I'm not rooting for another AFC North opponent. Hell no. We're going with the Dallas Cowboys handling business 35-24. I think it's going to be a good game, but I do think that Dallas gets the job done. Moving on, we got the Washington Commanders, also led by another rookie, Jalen Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner from LSU, baby, Bayou Tiger. We'll see what happens with the Washington Commanders this year. The Washington Commanders are traveling down to Tampa Bay to take on the Baker May Buccaneers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one, but I do think that Jaden Daniels is going to be a very good quarterback in the league. I do have this feeling. We'll see. I mean, he's not set up with being on the Commanders, but that's not doing him any justice. But I am going to pick Washington in this one. I do think Washington wins this game in a close one. I am going to pick Washington to win this game 25-20.
Yeah, this game could definitely go back and forth. Love the 25-20 score. This game could definitely go back and forth. It really is a toss-up, like you were saying. I mean, you really don't know who really has the advantage of this game. What's the spread right now? Looks like Tampa Bay is favored by 3.5 points. So, I mean, it's right there. It's going to be a back and forth game. Especially with week 1, I think a lot of messiness is going to happen. Expect some interceptions from Jaden Daniels. Expect some interceptions from all these rookies. I doubt any rookie has a clean sheet this week 1. So, with that being said, I think Tampa Bay is able to capitalize on those mistakes. Baker, right? Very veteran presence. Honestly, a stud, a straight stud. I have the utmost respect for Baker Mayfield, especially after I know it was against the Raiders, but 2 seasons ago when he literally flew in like an hour before kickoff, not literally, but basically an hour before kickoff, just learned the playbook and then was able to lead them to victory against the Raiders. So the Los Angeles Rams victory against the Raiders. I believe in Baker, and I think Baker gets the job done, especially with an opponent like this, with such a green opponent in the NFL. The game's going to be moving fast for Jalen Daniels. The preseason can only do so much. Remember, you're playing against guys that, I mean, let's be honest, they're not really going to make the team. The team is pretty much set. The preseason is for these other guys that, second, third, fourth, fifth string practice squad. That's what preseason is for. So you're not seeing top-level competition when you go out into the preseason. You see it sometimes, you don't see it all the time. So I do think that Tampa Bay gets the job done here at home, 24-17. Loving that 24-17 score to kick us off here. But we're going 24-17. Bucks get the job done. Moving on to our Sunday night game. We got a return. We got a second return. Yes. He returned, was it last season or 2 seasons ago? I think
it was in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Last season. Yeah. Yes.
Just right now in January. Yeah.
A playoff wild card. Yeah. Wild card game, right? Or division game.
It was divisional, I believe.
Okay. So a divisional battle rematch. We got the Los Angeles Rams, Matthew Stafford.
Oh, no, you're right. I think it was wild card because
right?
Because the Lions beat the Rams and then the Lions beat the Bucks. So yes, it was wild card.
Okay, so we got a wild card matchup. Matthew Stafford returning home yet again to take on the Detroit rolling Motor City Lions. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a similar result. Obviously the Rams losing Aaron Donald, that's huge. That is huge. That is like monumental. That is like
big.
That's like the Ravens losing Ray Lewis. That's like the Niners losing Patrick Willis. I mean, that is it may be bigger than both because Aaron Donald may be the best defensive player I've ever seen in my life. I'm saying in my life. We're not going back to the 80s or anything like that. But I don't know about you, but have you seen a more dominant defensive player in your lifetime? Have you? And I'm saying we can go back to the 80s, your lifetime that you've witnessed. And we're talking the first Super Bowl you probably watched was Titans Rams. I mean, that was one of my first. So the first Super Bowl I ever watched was Green Bay versus New England. That was the first Super Bowl I ever watched. Remember watching. I would think I was 6 or 7. So in your life, have you seen a more dominant player than Aaron Donald on the defensive side of the ball?
Just trying to think of all the defenders I've seen, because I mean, there's been a lot, man. I mean, Jared Allen, you got Javon Curse,
they're good. Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis.
I mean, you got J.J. Watt.
John Taylor. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
You got Luke Kuechly. I mean, in terms of physicality and raw talent, we'll go, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is probably the most raw, talented player out there. I mean, he was the most dominant. I mean, he was the most dominant.
He led them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have been the Super Bowl MVP.
He was a D end playing D tackle. That's all you need. That all. And he was getting still double teamed by 300-pound guys, and this guy was like 230, 240, all muscle, brick.
So
true.
It as a Niner fan, you rejoice when something like this happens, but at the same time, it saddens me because I'm a competitive person. So to not see Aaron Donald on the other side of the ball, I never had anything against him. I just think he's just a fantastic athlete. I think that he's a humble dude. I think that I do like Aaron Donald a lot. Regardless of the fact that he's a Ram, I like him a lot. So, and I think that that's going to be a big hole for them on defense. I think that he gets their motor going also. I think that I got to roll with Detroit in this one. I just think Detroit's at home. I think that they're out for blood this year. They got it. They know that they've got it. It's going to be them in a short list of teams in the NFC, and they have the ability. They were up 17 points against the 49ers in their house. They have the ability to go to the Super Bowl, and they had the ability to win the Super Bowl. And they beat the Chiefs, given it was week 1, but they could do it. They could have done it. So, if they would have made it, I'm not saying the Chiefs would have guaranteed to win. I think that the Super Bowl went either way with the Niners. It could have gone either way with the Lions. So, with that being said, I got to pick the Detroit Lions in this one. I do think they win this one at 31-24. I think it's a really good game. I think this could be potentially the game of the week.
Yeah, this game, it has all the makings to be game of the week. I do love that it's a Sunday night football game. Great slate for the Sunday night football game this week. It's a competitive game. Regardless of, what's going to happen, it still is week 1. So the Rams could easily go in there, and Puka Nacua could easily go off. Cooper Kupp could easily go off, right? We forget about Cooper Kupp because he was injured most of the season, and Puka came out of nowhere. But, the Rams now technically have 2-star receivers, right? Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp with a revamped running game and Kieran Williams. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. The Rams are another team that you don't really know what to make of until you kind of see them on the field playing and what they really got. But the Detroit Lions, are honestly, exactly like you said. They are some good coaching decisions away from being in the Super Bowl. 3 of the most terrible coaching decisions you will ever see ever took place in the NFC Championship game last year with, not taking points when you got them, going for 2, just doing things that you shouldn't be doing if you're the Detroit Lions. Yeah. You're the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the titles and that stuff to back it up. It doesn't work one year. Okay, so what? But when you're the Detroit Lions and you're just the biggest losers in all of football, you don't do shit like that. You just don't. It makes no sense. You just don't do stuff like that. So, with that being said, I think that place is going to be on fire.
Yep.
Ford Field is going to be on fire.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited to see it. I can't believe it. I'm a smidge, just a smidge, excited to hear, Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. Mike Tirico more than Chris Collinsworth, but I am kind of excited to see the slide in from Chris because that's how I know.
When you get a guy like Peyton Manning, he doesn't really move his arm any faster. You just see him driving off that back leg.
Yeah.
That was a pretty pass.
That's how you do it. That's Chris Collinsworth in a nutshell right there, baby. Classic Madden, most hated commentator of all time. Lions getting the job done. Sunday night football.
I think I know who you want on the call is any first down, touchdown.
Yeah, you want Joe Davis to? Joe Davis will be working other games, okay? We'll get Joe Davis later on.
First down.
But we're going Lions in a victory, 31-21. And it's not only a victory, it's a guaranteed victory, baby. Lions guaranteeing the victory to get the job done against the Rams. And our last game, we've made it. If you stuck around this long, just stick around just a little bit longer. We are to Monday night. And what a game we got. What a game. What a game. So many storylines to go over here. I don't even know if we have time. We could create an entire show talking about just this game only. We have the New York Jets. The Aaron Rodgers returns game. Returns to the Bay Area. Returns home. Returns to where he wanted to play. And he is back off an Achilles injury. The Jets are ready to go. The Jets are another team that we don't really know what's going to happen. If Aaron stays healthy, they got the pieces, but they're traveling across the country. They're traveling to Santa Clara, and they're taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who not only Not only did Christian McCaffrey get the cover of Madden, not only did Brandon Ayuk get the extension that, I'll be honest, I knew it was coming. It was just so annoying. All the Brandon Ayuk talk, so annoying. And then just yesterday, after what could have been one of the most tragic events to happen in NFL football in a very long time, Trent Williams said, you know what? You don't do that to my team. Got on his phone, called up John Lynch and was like, hey, Johnny boy, just back up the Brinks truck, my friend. I'm coming. Click. And Trent Williams has restructured his contract to return to be, again, the best left tackle in football. We got the New York Jets traveling to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And we got to mention Ricky Parasol, or Parasol, however you pronounce it. Get well, get better. Glad you're okay. Glad you did what you had to do. We're excited to see you. You know that many men will be coming out. We'll be playing when you come out that tunnel. But rest up, get better. All prayers to you and your family. Jets, Niners, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, emotional game. You know, a lot, like you said, a lot of storylines surrounding this.
A lot of storylines.
Aaron, obviously coming back to the Bay Area. You know, we've seen this matchup many times. Obviously, the Jets have a really solid defense. Aaron Rodgers, you know, we're going to see what he's got.
Yep.
You know, Niners, obviously, like you said, Trent Williams signing his deal, you know, could go down as the best left tackle of all time if he gets himself a ring.
Very true.
Christian McCaffrey, best running back in the league. There's no argument there.
Yep.
There's just nothing to argue. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, like you said, Brock Purdy's best weapon. I was just getting to the point where I was over it. So I'm just glad it's done. And we can play football. I'm very curious to see, though, on the defensive side of the ball, we don't have Arik Armstead anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we don't, you know, we don't have Deshaun Gibson. There's just, we have Talanoa Hufanga. Let's see if he plays. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's going to play week 1. But you know, there's going to be some question marks. I mean, we're going to another defensive coordinator. That's 3 in 3 years. So we're going to have to see, you know, what happens here because, you know, they said Bosa might be dropping back in coverage at certain points. So I'm curious to see what type of schemes that Sorensen is throwing at these teams. So with that being said, you know I got to roll with my team. I think everybody's going to rally around Ricky Parasol. I got to say this. I would have just gave the guy my Rolex. I'm not even going to front. Somebody pulls a gun out on me, I'm not fighting back. So I just take whatever because I know people are crazy. That's why I don't want to die. So I give him a lot of props for, you know, the courage. I think it was, I don't know. In that moment, a lot of adrenaline's going.
Remember, it's fight or flight. It's fight or flight.
Fight or flight. You don't have a lot. He was probably just trying to defend himself.
Yeah,
hey, in that moment, a lot of stuff's going on. So you can't say what type of a decision it is. So, but the team is going to use this as motivation. They're going to rally around this guy. I mean, a guy literally gets shot in the chest. He's centimeters away from getting killed. I mean, they said, you know, it went through his back. I mean, there's all kinds of vital organs and different vessels and stuff that you can hit when you get shot with a bullet. Who knows what the type of gun was, but shame on the stupid person who did that. I mean, it's a cowardly act. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's Tracy, you're driving out there, you know, you're just being an idiot. So, it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a hell of a game, but I got to roll with the 49ers here. What kind of fan would I be if I didn't? I do think it's high scoring, though. I'm going to pick the 49ers in a close one, 34-30.
I like it. Yeah, you know, this game, it's setting up. It's ending our week. I'll say that. It's ending our week properly. This is a great matchup for Monday. This is a great matchup for Troy and Joe. I'm very excited to hear them call this game. You know, it's an all-around. It's going to be an all-around good festival game. They're definitely going to be talking about Ricky in that situation. They're definitely going to be talking about Trent. They're definitely going to be talking about Brandon Ayuk. They're definitely going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and what's Robert Sala's future like and all this stuff. Just so many different storylines built into this game. So it's such an epic game to start off our season. We got the Niners Jets, and I got to roll with the Niners. I do think that the Niners do get the job done. They're at home. I do think, like you said, it's a back and forth game. I don't think it's as high scoring. I'm going to go 24-23. I think they get it done by a game-winning field goal. Jake Moody, putting cardiac Moody, as I like to call him, because he's putting heart attacks in all the Niners fans, whether it's going to go in or not. But Jake Moody gets the job done, and he wins it for the San Francisco 49ers. My question for you, though, is this.
Yeah.
Update on your phone a couple weeks ago. Brandon Ayuk traded to the Cleveland Browns for Amari Cooper. How are we feeling about getting Amari Cooper on the Niners?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm taking BA over Amari Cooper. BA is Brock Purdy's number one weapon. If you watch Brock Purdy, the chemistry that he has with Brandon Ayuk over the middle of the field and in those crucial moments, that is the reason why. That chemistry is not built. Brock Purdy's number one receiver since the day he stepped on that field has been Brandon Ayuk. And so even regardless of if you want to give Amari Cooper the edge or if he potentially could be better, I'm a chemistry guy. And that is why I think Joe Burrow and why Jamar Chase is going to probably be the best tandem in the NFL for years to come, is because when you build that chemistry with somebody, you just have a feel, you just have this, there's like this sense, there's this instinct that it's unexplainable. And that's how it was with Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes and why they got a Super Bowl. We've seen it before with Julian Edelman and Tom Brady. There's just Brandon Ayuk is Brock Purdy's guy. So that's the reason why. That's the reason. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No,
but
I like it. I like it. I was just curious what you thought.
No, I do think Amari Cooper is a great receiver. It's just why disrupt? I mean, we were in the overtime, a play away from winning the Super Bowl. Why disrupt that?
All right. I like it. Brandon Ayuk got his money. Trent Williams got his money. I mean, we'll see what happens. Man, oh man, what a season we have ahead of us. That's going to do it. That is going to do it for our first week of picking games. And man, oh man, am I excited. I've never been more ready for an NFL season than this NFL season because my team finally healthy. We're finally starting off the season right. So let's see what happens. Anything can happen. Quickly, my friend, Super Bowl prediction. What do you got for me?
Oh, geez. 49ers, Bengals. Niners finally get the job done 27-24.
I think this is your fourth year in a row of picking the Niners.
Hey, it's got to happen at some point. It's got to.
I like it.
And I have to. If I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna wear this shirt, I have to. I just have to. I can't pick another team.
I like it. I'm gonna go to the Battle of the Cats. The Battle of the Cats. The famed battle of the Lion versus the Tiger. Yes, the Lions versus the Bengals for the Super Bowl. What a game. Either or, any team, as long as it's not the Chiefs. Give me anybody. Chiefs, Chiefs, no Ravens. Anybody else, I will take. I'll even take the Patriots at this point because at this point, it would be an amazing story if the Patriots somehow pulled it off. No Ravens.
Well, here's the exception for me is that no Ravens, no Chiefs. So I don't want the Ravens. There's four teams that I cannot.
No Seahawks and no Rams.
No Seahawks and no Cowboys.
Okay, Cowboys is a good one. Cowboys. I honestly, at this point, I honestly would love to see the Cowboys win the Super Bowl just because it would put Jerry Jones in one of the most hilarious situations of all time. Are you really going to not pay your Super Bowl winning quarterback and let him walk to a team and you get absolutely nothing? Or are you going to back up the Brinks truck and overpay Dak Prescott, who will never again do anything in the NFL? I honestly would love to see that because I love to see Jerry Jones getting screwed. But I wouldn't want to see the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Neither. No. I'd love to see them go and lose.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd love to see them go and lose the Super Bowl because they've got the fun of watching the Niners lose 3. So I'd love to see them lose 1.
It's a good one. I like that. Bengals Cowboys. That'd be a good one.
Bengals,
All right,
Cowboys.
Brandon, any last words for the people?
Hey, thanks for having me again. Year number
Of course.
4. We're only getting better. And so, obviously I hope, your picks and my picks this year, we do better than we did last year. Cause I just feel like each year we've gotten better. And
We
so,
have.
um, I'm hoping, that one of our teams, I know not both, but one of our teams can get back and just get over the hump, either one of us, we haven't got it in our life and we haven't seen it. And I think that we're overdue. So I think both of our teams are capable of winning. I think the Niners are more capable only because of the pathway. I mean, the AFC is just insane.
No, NFC definitely has some ducks.
But I definitely believe in Slim Shiesty, I believe in him, man. I believe in him.
It's going to be a great year. I'm excited. I cannot absolutely wait for this NFL season to start. This is the most excited I've been for an NFL season, I think, ever, quite honestly. So I'm ready to go. I know Brandon's ready to go. I know we're excited to see what is going to transpire over the course of the next, September, October, November, December, January, February. Over the next 6 months, we are very excited to see what happens. I mean, it's going down. It is going down. It starts tomorrow because we're filming this on Wednesday, but it starts now. I mean, when you're watching this, the games have already happened. So it has already started. So football is back. Football is here. We're ready to go, baby. And I mean, man, oh man, it is go time. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys. He is one of my best friends, and the other half of the Sports Guys, he is Mr. Brandon Sullivan. And until week number 2, we have our review. You get to find out the new theme for the season. And then we have week 2 number picks. It's all coming together. It's going. I mean, before we know it, we'll be in week 11. So here we go, baby. Get buckled up, get set, ready to go. The roller coaster's about to start. And here we go. That'll do it for this edition of Being on the 50. I am Jacob Cutler. That is Brandon Sullivan. And until next week, Brandon and Jake,